we have started again this week. This week, we're talking about some of our Ramsey things that are going on. And when I say Ramsey, I am talking about Dave Ramsey. As you all know or don't know, I am an endorsed local provider for the Dave Ramsey organization. I love being that person. And I love working with our Dave Ramsey clients. When I first got started, I was like, I don't know. They're kind of thinking. They're kind of asking lots of questions. They're kind of very, let's say, analytical. And as I progressed on, it wasn't that I didn't enjoy that. I just wasn't prepared for it. And it turned out to be such a blessing because they know exactly what they're looking for. They know the buyer and seller of the Dave Ramsey organization that registers on their website looking for their endorsed local provider knows exactly what they're looking for, and they know exactly how to accomplish it. And they know they're talking with the top agents in the area. So it makes for a perfect fit to be completely transparent about being a Dave Ramsey ELP. So I am thrilled to be one. And I'm always excited when we have a new Dave Ramsey inquiry come through. So with that said, if you're looking for your Dave Ramsey ELP, we'll just go to my website, LoriAlvarez.net, and get registered with us. We would love to personally help you and set you up. And if you want to know more about what Dave Ramsey has to offer, he's got a ton on RamseySolutions.com. So check it out there. So I'm actually going to shift into Financial Peace University. I'm currently facilitating that class on site in our office right now. It has been so much fun, so much great information, and such a refresher for me myself, just because I've personally done FPU as a facilitator with my husband, Eric. He and I have co-facilitated that class about 5 times at our local church in the neighborhood. Right now, I'm doing it all by myself in our real estate office over here in Laverne, California, in the Real Estate Resolved location. And it is a real belly-to-belly experience. We're really in class, none of this Zoom business. We are talking and working and calculating and praying and getting debt-free together. And I am thrilled to be a part of it. So the one thing that I always hear when it comes to Dave Ramsey, right? You just hear a couple of things when it comes to the whole Dave Ramsey organization, okay? You hear, oh, it's not possible to do what Dave says. It's not possible. That is not how rich people do it. I just got to say, I don't care if it's how rich people do it or not. What I do know is that is the way this person does it, because it's such a peaceful experience to not worry about debt every month is a beautiful experience. Now, what does that mean to me personally? Does that mean I'm debt free? Well, no, I have a mortgage. And Dave Ramsey says if you got to buy a house and you don't have all the cash, you should use a mortgage. It's just what he says. And what else is there? Do I have a car payment? Nope, don't have that. I personally do not have my own car payment. My car is paid for. Whew, thank goodness I didn't want to think about that. What I do have in my personal business, which is where I'm talking about right now, over at the Real Estate Resolved office, is we run this business strictly on cash. Every month, we sell homes, we help families move, and we earn income and we put it right back into the business, and we save some, and we tithe some, and we give some. And yes, we run it like a Dave Ramsey ELP should run it. I don't believe in credit card debt. I don't believe in using it. In my personal life, there's a couple things that are different. My hubby and I are in two different places right now, so he chooses to have a credit card, and so we're married. Yes, it's mine. Do I use it? I don't. He does. I can't control that yet. We're working on that. We're not perfect. Perfect. Neither are you. Then we're in it to win it together. Because I'm going to tell you, being married, single, or together with another person, it doesn't matter how you're doing money. Individually or in a partnership, money is just tough, especially in an economic crisis, as we're slowly shifting through one. Our economy is changing. People are living differently. Our interest rates are adjusting up, and life is just different now. That's just the reality of it. So, what do you do during that time? How do you move through that time? And how do you keep your relationships top notch during that time? It's not easy, just isn't. That's the reality of it. My husband and I were debt free, and he decided to pick up another credit card again. So, hey, guess what? That's just how life is. We just work through it. We do what we do, and we work through it together the best that we can. And not always is it easy, and yet it is super simple if you stick with the 7 baby steps. And that's what we talk about at Financial Peace University. We meet every Monday evening in our office. We have a great group of people, as I mentioned earlier. And right now, we're moving on to step 7, which is to build wealth and give. But before I can get to step 7, I need to tell you everything else that's happened before then. So what exactly are the 7 baby steps, and what exactly is FPU, Financial Peace University? Well, it's Dave Ramsey's real life education of how he does finances, his personal experiences for what happened with him personally in his world of real estate and his world of finances. And when you hear his personal story, you are just blown away by what he does. I don't know his personal story. I know enough to say you got to tune into his. I do know my own personal story with FPU and with the 7 baby steps. And we're working them on our own timeline, independent of each other and codependent of each other as well. So with the 7 baby steps, there's baby step number 1. So baby step number 1 would, well, it's just put $1,000 in the bank. Doesn't that sound super easy? And can you believe so many people actually don't even have $1,000 in the bank? Like they are literally living until their next paycheck. And as their paycheck comes, it is gone until next week's paycheck comes again. And that's just the life they're living. And so then what do you do in the meantime when something unexpected happens? Oof, scary. What do you do in the meantime? Well, I remember when my hubby and I were working through our first baby step number 1, literally, you want to hear my story? Yeah, we eliminated all the credit cards. We got rid of it all. We were just living on debit cards, and our debit account was 0, no money in the bank. And I was a young woman just making her way through this with our kids. And I happened to go around the corner and yes, real life story, ran out of gas. Now, my hubby would say she does that quite often. Yeah, Usually I have money in the bank, though. This time I didn't have any money in the bank because we were working on baby step one. So that can be scary. So how did I resolve that? My hubby told me, walk home. I think we got like $20 in a drawer. Go get that cash and then get some gas. Yeah. It's not easy getting through step number one. And we did do it, right? And so once you hit that $1,000 in the bank, once you get there, and yes, you will get there, I promise, you move on to step number two, baby step number two. Pay off all the debt except the house, if you've already bought a house, right? Using the debt snowball process. Now you say, what is the debt snowball process? Take your littlest debt, pay that off. Then take your next biggest debt and pay that one next. And use the little debt that is no longer there and help that money layer on top so that your snowball just gets larger and larger and larger until all your debt is paid down. All your credit card debt, your medical debt, your doctor bills, your IRS debt. I am battling that one. Whew. I say my hubby has the credit card issue. I have the IRS debt issue. Whew. No, we aren't perfect. And yes, we have applied the Ramsey principles to what we're doing. We sure are, step by step, baby step by baby step. We're slowly moving through it. So be free to be you and be free to make mistakes, jump back in, correct it, and learn again. It's called life. It's called life. That's for sure. Then we move right on to step number 3, because guess what? You have paid off all the debt, except maybe if you have a house, it maybe isn't paid for. And now this might be just the chance that you get to buy that house. Or maybe this is when you go, oh no, whew, I overbought on a house that I can't afford and I need to make some changes, because that does happen. Or life has changed in the last year and a half and your financial situation has depleted. And the only way to correct that is to get intentional with what you're doing. And sometimes that just means you got to sell that house. No shame in that. You got to do what you got to do to get yourself right on the path of what it is you need to do, right? So step 3 is save 3 to 6 months of expended expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. So 3 to 6 months. That means how much does it cost for you to live every month on utilities, gas, food, medical bills, whatever it is, whatever you do. Total those numbers up, figure out what that is. Let's call it, it's $1,000 a week. You spend $1,000 a week and you only bring in $5,000 a month. You need to make sure that you have 4,000 times 3 is 12,000. That's 3 months worth of expenses. And if you're smart, you'll shoot it out to 6 months. So 6 times 4, because your expenses every month are $4,000. That's $24,000. So you want to make sure you get that in the bank so that you can make it happen. That just will make for an easier life. That's the reality of it, right? So step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. So when an emergency happens, you go, easy schmeezy, I got it in the bank. Let's take care of it. When an emergency happens, how many of you say easy schmeezy? No, sir. I remember earlier in the year, my heater went out on my rental property. And I was like, oh, great. My HVAC guy went out there and I said, okay, give me great news. And he was like, the great news is going to cost this much because the whole unit needed to be replaced, not just the heater. And thankfully, I had the money in the bank. And guess what? Put a new heater in, took care of business. Our tenant is happy. We moved on with life. It is not easy. Nothing easy about it. So you want to make sure you got that money in the bank. So when you have an emergency, it becomes easy schmeezy emergency. Yeah, I made that up. Anyways, moving on to step number 4. You got the money in the bank. You've got your emergency fund put together. Step number 4 is to invest 15% of your household income in your retirement. We had a great conversation last night. Let me say this. Retirement for everyone is completely different. Retirement for me is still helping families move, still helping families buy that perfect investment property, make that real estate move, set themselves up for real estate success. Like, that's all my retirement. I don't intend to stop helping people with real estate until I can't remember to help them. That's just the reality of it. I love what I do. And I may not want to move as much as I do now. I may want to do it a little differently. And so that's what retirement really means for me personally. Retirement for you may be travel the world, take it easy, don't have a job, just hang out in the front yard and watch your grandkids play or your pups play or whatever it is that makes great sense for you, right? That might be what retirement is. So if that's what retirement is, great. Love that. Whatever it be, you need to start saving money yesterday. Start saving money yesterday. Dave Ramsey has a fantastic visual graphic on his site. You need to go visit it. And it's all about the 20-year-old kid who started saving money early and stopped doing it by the time he was, I think, 23. And his buddy said, I'm going to jump in and do it at 23. And he had to save twice as much. And he made not nearly as much as his buddy who did it from the age of 18 to 23. Invested a lot less, but over time with compound interest. He made so much money. So check out that whole short story on the Dave Ramsey website at ramseysolutions.com. You definitely want to start setting aside for your retirement now. Start setting aside for your retirement now. It matters. I talk to so many families today who are in financial binds and they've got nothing but a home to support them to the end of their life. That is scary because that home may not provide all the time you need. Start saving now. Really, step 4, invest 15% of your household income into your retirement. Step 5, save for your children's college fund. What does that mean? Oh, wait, you don't have kids. Cool. Start saving that towards your retirement. Oh, wait, your kids choose not to go to college like mine. Okay, cool. Start using that money towards your retirement, right? You can reallocate that money for anything. Oh, wait, you don't believe you should pay for your kids' college. Cool. Don't pay for it. Don't let them go in debt, though. You, mom and dad, need to help them make a wise decision and move forward to college in a healthy financial way, not in debt. No, no, no. So whether or not you're going to have children, whether or not you've got kids and you agree about college, or they're going to college or not going to college, or they're this or they're that, whatever it be, allocate money for it. You can use it for something else down the road. Like maybe you haven't bought that house yet. Now's the time. The kid said, I ain't going to college. Go buy yourself your house, right? Who knows? Anyways, I'm going to push the house thing, right? Because home, sweet home is what matters to me. I'm a realtor. I'm just being real. Okay, step 6, pay your home off early. So guys, you got to buy the house and then you got to pay your property off. That's just the reality of it. I have a paid for rental. It's the best thing I ever did. I have a house. I got like 6 to 7 years left on my loan. Best thing we ever did. We have another rental. Well, guess what? We got, I think, 22 years left on that. And our tenant's paying that down. Thank you, tenant. So we are doing well for ourselves, but we have done our best in a very messy way to apply the Ramsey principles. We're not perfect, and you don't need to be perfect to do money right. You just need to be intentional about what you're doing with your money to succeed. That's it. Because then at some point you hit baby step 7, which is to build wealth and give. And I'm going to tell you, giving is something that everyone should strive to do. Giving is something that makes a difference in the world at such a greater place than receiving. I love being able to give. I love being able to help. I would love for a young family to come in and me be able to say, you know what? I'm going to sponsor you your down payment so that you could buy your first home. Could you imagine that? I mean, the government's given a couple incentives, right, to help families. Why couldn't we as people do that for other people? I mean, the number one challenge they say these days for young adults trying to buy their home is that they can't come up with the down payment. They can't afford the monthly payment, but they just can't come up with the down payment. What if you could be that person to sponsor someone? I would love to be that person. So, baby step 7, build wealth and give. Give in whatever way makes best sense for you personally. Just get out there and start checking out the baby steps. I think you'll be impressed with what Ramsey has to say. And if you don't agree, okay, you learned something new and you moved right on. Thanks so much.